My boyfriend has been signing into my social media accounts for more than a year, so I made him reveal the truth by threatening to sue him for fourth-degree felony stalking. An incident happened this past weekend where an old friend of mine tried to kiss me. He was drunk and initially tried to kiss me in the mouth. I pulled away, and he again tried to kiss my neck, leaving a bruise. I bruise incredibly easily as I have very fair skin and poor circulation. The entire incident lasted no more than a few seconds. I did not expect or want this to happen, and I thought the friend in question knew I had a boyfriend. I actually thought he also had a girlfriend up until he kissed me, so it definitely caught me off guard. Once I firmly expressed to him I wasn't interested and had a boyfriend, he backed off, and the rest of the night went normally. I don't have any plans to hang out with this friend again. The next day, my boyfriend was already at work when I woke up, where he had limited access to his phone. I planned to FaceTime him and tell him what happened when he got off work. However, he noticed the bruise on my neck in a Snapchat before I could tell him myself. I hadn't even noticed it was there because, as I said, it was no more than a few seconds and it didn't occur to me that there could even be a bruise there from so short a time. He called me when he finished work, and I explained what had happened, but by that point, he had been stewing over it for over 5 hours and was furious with me. I understand that I shouldn't have put myself in a position where someone thought I would be receptive to a kiss, but I also can't control other people's actions or the past, and I have been trying to earn his trust back since. However, he remains absolutely livid. In other news, for the past few years, my Snapchat account has signed me out constantly on my phone, forcing me to log back into the account sometimes as frequently as multiple times a day. I submitted several maintenance requests to the app, and on Monday they notified me that they had sent a customer service email to my spam email account, which I seldom use, and hadn't looked at in years. When I signed into the account to view the email, I noticed several other emails from the app over the past year. Most notably, there were a series of emails from August 3rd to 6th, 2017 informing me that someone had connected to my account on those specific dates from a specific location in a neighboring country. My boyfriend and a few of our mutual friends happened to be on vacation in that exact place on those exact dates. We were not dating at that time. I have confirmed the dates of that trip with someone else who was there. Nobody else on that trip goes to college with my boyfriend, or within 75 miles of there. Getting fearful, I went on the Snapchat website and downloaded my data, which basically gives you all the data the company has stored about your account over a certain period. This data included the location history of where my account has been accessed for the last 2 months, with each data point consisting of a date, time, latitude, and longitude of where the account was used. It revealed that dozens of times over the last 2 months, sometimes as often as multiple times in the same day, my account was accessed from where my boyfriend lives. These data points are very specific, 3 decimal points, and correspond to directly his house, various buildings on his campus, and other places in his college town that he frequents. They all are on dates that I was definitively in my own college town, 400 miles away. You can actually watch me and whomever fight for control of the account, with me signing in 1 hour, then it signing in from his town the next hour, and us going back and forth for a while. The data only goes back 2 months, but the emails and pattern of Snapchat logging me out, which is their attempt at security, when you log into an account on one device it force logs it out on all others, indicate that it has been going on with this level of regularity for over a year. I confronted my boyfriend about this. As soon as I found out, he was initially indignant, then horrified once I presented him with all the evidence. He empathically maintains that it isn't him doing it. He can't provide any other explanations, and his best guess is that he is being framed, although he has no idea by whom. He has said a few times that if I need to find an explanation, he'll let his reputation take the hit because he loves me that much and hates to see how this is hurting me. He has now also shifted the conversation back to the incident from this weekend, and is saying that at what point would he have to lie, because he thinks I effed someone else anyways, which he had not told me before that he thought. This is an especially sensitive subject for me because 2 years ago, one night over a break home from school, I went to my former best friend's house to catch up. I had 2 drinks and passed out, which I had thought I was just tired, but now I suspect I was Dr. Ged. I slept on his couch that night, just the 2 of us. I woke up the next morning kinda sore but didn't really think anything of it, went home and didn't think of it again. 2 months later, another friend came to me and told me that she had fallen asleep at that friend's house just days before I did, that he had spiked her drink, and she had woken up in the middle of the night to him having sex with her. She froze, left when he went back to sleep, went to the hospital, got a kit done, and tried to move on with her life. She never went to the police because this friend's family is very involved with the police in our area, and the police response to SA is a joke anyways. She told me because I was going to visit him and she wanted me to be safe. I tried to support her as best I could and cut that friend off, but it didn't occur to me that anything could have happened to me. Months later, I came up positive for chlamydia on a routine STD check by my OBGYN. That's when I put all the facts together and realized what happened, although I never got closure or a sure answer. My boyfriend knows all this and helped me through all the fallout of that. I don't want to believe he would lie to me after seeing how much not knowing what happened there destroyed me. Snapchat is my main method of communication for a lot of my friends, and I save all my direct messages on the app so that I can reference them later. For over a year, someone has been going through my photos and my messages, seeing who I talk to, and watching me without my knowing, and I can't find any other explanations for all the info besides that it was my boyfriend. To not know what happened here will absolutely destroy me, and he knows this. I so desperately want to believe it's anything else, and I want to trust him, Like I want him to trust that I didn't sleep with my friend, but I just can't find any answers. My question is, does anyone have any other possible explanations for what could have happened besides the obvious? What should I do now? And how can I convince my boyfriend I didn't sleep with my friend without compromising my feelings here? Update: 4 days later, I came up with a plan. I met my boyfriend in a diner and got there early and told the waitress what was about to go down. I then set my laptop up with all the evidence I had amassed and waited for him to show up. When he got there, he was combative and initially tried to accuse me of sleeping with that kid again, but I effectively took over the conversation pretty quickly, and said into my speech. I took him through every piece of evidence that incriminated him, of which there is a lot, asked him if he still thought that he was being framed, and he denied it a few more times. At that point, I told him that in our state, what was happening constitutes fourth-degree felony stalking. There was too much evidence for it to all be technical glitches at this point, so either he was stalking me, or someone else was stalking the both of us. I told him this was his last chance to come clean to me, or if he still said it wasn't him, we were going to go get in my car, drive to the police station, and turn the case over to a detective, at which point it will be investigated, and whoever did it will be charged. I told him that once I turn it over to the police, however, it's out of my hands how it gets handled, and there will be consequences for whoever did it. He said that he wasn't going to the police station, and said again that he didn't do it. So, I stood up, put on my coat, and said we were going to see a detective and file a report right there because those were his only options left. He pulled me back down to the table, and finally, confessed. It was him. It started 2 years ago, 7 months before we even started dating. We were casually involved at that point, and friends, but not dating or exclusive. He said it started because he wanted to know whether I liked him, and it, and I, became an obsession for him. He has checked it multiple times a day, every day, for our entire relationship, including when I was with him. He read all my messages, which I saved through the app, as I use it as my main form of communication with a lot of friends, went through my photos, and kept tabs on who I was talking to. The conversation was terrifying. It was like I didn't know him. He was cold, cruel, and didn't seem even the smallest bit remorseful. He tried to blame it on me quite a few times, then blamed it on his trust issues, then blamed it on himself being effed in the head. It was so unbelievably out of character for him that I would have thought this was his crappy audition tape for an episode of SVU and said was a bad performance if I hadn't lived it myself. He also tried to manipulate me into not going to the police or any of our mutual friends, citing that he had nothing in his life, except me, but I guess that didn't matter so much. He said that I could just move on from this, whereas he would have to live with this for the rest of his life, which should already be punishment enough. He then tried to tell me that I owed him not to tell anyone else because I ruined his life when I gave him an STD, which I got when I was attacked by a former friend, which was easily cured, and which we discussed at length where he reassured me that it wasn't my fault. Oh, and he knew that I didn't sleep with that guy, because he read my conversation with him wherein he said, "Hey, I'm sorry about last night. I didn't know you had a boyfriend and I never would have tried to make a move on you if I had known." He just said that to try to make me defensive and so flustered about something else that I dropped my investigation into the Snapchat thing. He even quoted my own conversations back at me. I made him sign a paper where he wrote out what he did, just in case he wanted to go back on his word later. Then, I left. So, it's over now. I've blocked him on everything. I actually cried when I blocked his number, sad as that is. All that's left is to move on. I'm debating on whether to tell our mutual friends or not, because honestly, I'm resentful that he tried to manipulate me into not doing so, and I don't feel like I owe him anything at this point. Anyways, thanks for all your help.